Hello, welcome to the documentary about Peter Skillberg, the person who survived 2 whole months with no food, just a warm jacket, warm sleeping bag, and ice on the top of his car. Now we are going to go deep into this and figure out and discover how he survived. Later in this edition of Survival in the Winter, we will talk to the doctors and Peter himself and why they think he survived. So first, I am with Peter himself. Now Peter, obviously, do you feel fine and everything? But before you answer that question, I want to ask you a question first. Was it very scary in there? What did it feel like to be in there? I want to hear what it was like for you to be in there. Yeah, it was very scary, I was in there for 2 months, no food, I just survived off my sleeping bag and my coat. But it was just whoa, it was an eye opener for me, man, and I was just I wanted to stay alive, So I kept my coat on, my sleeping bag on, and I tried to keep as warm as I could. I slept a lot, and it was warmer than I thought it was. Doctors are telling me right now that, there was an igloo effect with my car, something about snow over the car. I think it was just... So was there any key things that you think really kept you alive? That really allowed you, to feel better? Well, you know what? I was only really eating ice, Ice and kept me warm on top of my car. I would get it off and then eat it, and then I'd really just go back to sleep. Yeah. I'm going to give you one question, that's all the time we have for it, but it's going to be a simple question, Give me how did he survive? That's the main question, He's out in freezing cold temperature. Minus 30 degrees Celsius weather. How does he survive? One question. That's all you give me, eh? Well, to answer that question, I'm going to start at the beginning. He's driving into the snow. He's driving off the road, okay? And it's snowing, just letting everybody know it's snowing, okay? And so as he comes in, it's snowing, and he gets stuck in there, okay? And it's still breezing and it's still snowing. Well, over time, it's going to accumulate on his car, and so it covers his car, but it's still leaving one side open to the fact that there's no wind getting in there, okay? So it's covering his car, and it's warming his car up, okay? Everybody's thinking snow is cold. Not when it's used properly. It's a very good insulator. So it's covering his car, and at the end of it, it's probably keeping his car to about 0 degrees, freezing point. Okay? So now he's inside. He's got a warm coat and a sleeping bag. What do you do with the sleeping bag? You sleep in it. Well, that brings him up so that he can sleep. He's no longer really cold. Okay? So he can now sleep, and he can now go out if he needs to for a moment. So he sleeps, and as scientists and doctors, we believe he hibernated like a bear. Not for all 2 months, but for intervals at a time. He slept more than the average human. Okay, also, when you sleep, you don't use as much energy up, so he doesn't need to eat as much. When you're cold, you don't use as much energy up, so he doesn't need to eat as much. And also, because he didn't eat that much, he lost body fat. Okay, and the third thing here is that there's ice on top of his car that he could come out and eat. He'd take it off, and then he would eat it, and then go back to sleep.